everyone! I am Mecha Raecaps, your favorite YouTube harpy, and today we are talking about Star Trek Discovery short treks. Oh god, they're... Like the title of the video says, they can't even get their own characters right without completely destroying them with these short treks. So, I needed some time to kind of sit with them. And you guys, hopefully you guys all saw my original initial reaction videos. Oh my god, my initial reviews. I think now that I've kind of sat with these episodes and heard what you guys have had to say and really let them process and let them compute, I think they really are worse than I initially thought, because they kind of take characters that we, or even, even as somebody who doesn't like Discovery like myself, characters that I could tolerate, characters I didn't hate that much, and they've really destroyed them. So, let's get into the first character they ruined. The first short trek, which was Runaway, starred Tilly. Mary Weissman playing Tilly. Now, I get it. Captain Lorca, spoilers, by the way. Captain Lorca was from the Mirror Universe, and he plucked out Cadet Tilly from Starfleet Academy, I believe, because of who she was in the Mirror Universe. Because she was Captain Killy, she was this real badass, she was a real badass. She was a badass captain. She killed a lot of people. They called her Killy. And that's why he plucked her out of the Mirror Universe, or out of Starfleet Academy before she was really ready to be in Starfleet. This short trek sees Tilly kind of alone on a ship on the Discovery, and then I think she's on the night shift or something, staying up late trying to get her officer training in, or her command training, I guess. They finally approve her for officers training or whatever it is. And this stowaway happens upon Tilly in the mess hall. She throws food everywhere. They have like a big girls' food fight. They bond over ice cream. And this episode really hurts Tilly's character for me, because she does a few things that she should never do, especially if she's been on a starship for as long as she's been on there, which we can assume has been at least 6 months, because, we had about 6 months of them basically in Discovery in the initial run of the show. I guess it took place over about 6 months to a year. She should know one thing. Call security if you have an intruder. Plain and simple. You should have called security. Oh wait, we didn't have security because, spoiler, Ash Tyler was actually Vok the Klingon, and he was posted as the security officer for no goddamn reason. So we don't have him, maybe call the captain. Oh wait, we don't have a captain because Captain Lorca was from the Mirror Universe and he was never heard of again. So, okay, maybe call Saru. God, just wait till we get to Saru's episode of Short Trek. Yeah, she could call anybody. She could call Michael Burnham and say, hey, I've got this intruder. Not only that, when she looks up this girl, this intruder's record, it would alert security because this is a wanted fugitive. Why would you look up this person for no reason? The ship keeps logs of everything people do. I don't think she put it in like incognito mode like you do with porn. I think she just flat out did a search for this girl she's kind of harboring. We'll get to this girl in a second. So not only did she do that, she also used the transporter without telling anybody. That would certainly show up on this ship's logs. You can't just use the transporter like that. So this really ruins Tilly's character, that she didn't actually do anything competent. She didn't do anything right. This episode was a complete mess because it has this stowaway character. It's this girl who's like part Suliban, part porcupine. And like I said, she throws food everywhere. She's kind of a wild animal. She's kind of terrible. And you find out, okay, I'm running from my home world, and my home world and I were born. My planet and I were born at the same time. I'm my planet's twin. My planet is my sister. I'm running from all these bad people who are trying to do all these things to me. And I was working in the dilithium mines, and I figured out a way to reconstitute dilithium crystals. And even though in a few years they're going to use Earth technology from, in Star Trek 4, but, who cares? We didn't watch that episode or that movie probably. Alex Kurtzman probably never watched it because he wrote this episode, and he would have known that we've already done that. But, it gets better with this girl too. So she wants to reconstitute dilithium crystals. She's working in the mines. But guess what? Her mother's the queen, and she's a princess. And she's going to have to go home and become the queen, even though she wanted asylum and she wanted to run away and stow away on the Discovery and she wanted to run and hide. So she wants to go right back to, what, outer space, her home planet? She doesn't have a ship in order. We have no idea where the Discovery is. Tilly just beams this girl into space, for all we know. I guess it's implied that she beamed her back to her home planet. Even though we were nowhere near the home planet, you would have had to, like, change course, find out where this girl's planet was, be within a certain proximity. It would be a huge international incident because this girl's the princess of this planet. But she's also the planet's twin. Oh, fuck me. This episode was horrible, and it ruined Tilly because it made her look like an incompetent idiot. And I liked Tilly. She was fun. She had this positive outlook of the future, and she had what Star Trek was, you know? She had this genuine curiosity of exploration and help, you know? She wanted to help. She wanted to do the right thing, and it ruined her character. I'm sorry. It made her look like an incompetent idiot. So, skip this episode if you like Tilly. Oh my god, it will ruin the character for you. It was terrible. Next episode of Short Trek to talk about is Calypso. I didn't hate this episode. This was one of the better ones. The thing is, okay, so this guy, we don't know who he is. He's like some futuristic human, or he's an alien. I can't remember. It's been a few months since I watched it. He's in like this sort of stasis, sort of sleep escape pod sort of ship thing. The Discovery is out there just somewhere after being abandoned for 1,000 years. So spoiler, nothing ever bad happens to Discovery. It's going to survive 1,000 years, and they're going to have to abandon it. Great, you ruined the ship now in this episode. You can't even get the ship right. You ruined the ship by saying, oh yeah, it's going to survive. You know, nothing bad will ever happen to it. It'll just be out there adrift. We're, you know, the most advanced technology, we're just gonna kind of let it go. Just like we did that Klingon ship with the cloaking device that they shouldn't have had. We just kind of let it sit there forever. But yeah, this was kind of a better episode. He comes on board the ship. The ship's got this artificial intelligence now. It's evolved for 1,000 years. The ship and him fall in love, and they dance, and it's basically like that Joaquin Phoenix movie where he falls in love with his smartphone, with the voice in his smartphone. That's kind of what this is. He falls in love with the ship, this guy, and then all of a sudden the ship realizes, oh shit, you have a wife, and I'm gonna like let you go, bye. Is it Star Trek? No. It could be any science fiction thing. It would, and the fact that it's on Discovery ruins Discovery. It ruins the ship because we know that nothing bad will ever happen to the ship. You guys can't even get this ship right. And not only that, this is one of the better ones because it had nothing to do with any of the main characters on Discovery, which are disgustingly terrible characters like Michael Burnham or Captain Lorca or God, any of these characters. Sorry, I had to lean off camera for a second to get a thing out of my eye. There was something reflecting. So hopefully the lighting's a little better. No, but they can't even get the main characters right of Discovery that I like the episodes where we don't see any of them better. So that's Calypso. That's Calypso. Did you guys like Calypso? I think I'm going to put all my Short Trek reviews in the description below. So that's Calypso. We'll move on to the next one. Saru. Did you guys like Saru? You know, there was a good moment in one of the Mirror Universe episodes where Saru hands out some orders to all these incidental crew members, you know all the extras that keep coming back that don't have lines, that don't have anything to do, you know, our bridge crew, people we should know their names of, people like the girl with the thing over her left eye that Rob on Midnight Judge calls Lisa Left Eye, and the girl with the mohawk that Rob calls Mrs. T, you know, all these other side characters. We should know who the crap these people are, you know. And there's a really decent moment where Saru's like, okay, you do this, and he takes charge, and he's like, yeah, what do you guys think? And they're like, aye, Captain, or whatever. And it was a good moment. And I think it was in episode 10 from Discovery. I'm pretty sure it was in the Mirror Universe. It might have even been the episode that Jonathan Frakes directed, where we see Saru kind of take command, and that's what we needed. And then they ruin him with this episode. So this episode is Saru's backstory. His race are Kelpians because they farm kelp. They live on this planet, I think it's called Kaminar, something like that, where they all worship this giant upside down obelisk from this race that are they're not the Goa'uld, but they're something similar. They're like a knockoff name like the Goa'uld, and we never see them, obviously. So all of his people kind of gather under this upside down obelisk, and they just get taken to be food, to be slaves, to be disintegrated, to, I don't know. They never say. They don't say. So in this episode, stuff falls off of this giant obelisk, and we learn that it does quite a bit. That it has been falling off of this giant obelisk pretty much every time they take people. There's even a line where Saru's father, who's the priest of this little cult of self-sacrificing idiot, whatever the hell they are, Kelpians, he even says, this thing fell off the ship, as they do. Could you go throw this away for me? So Saru spends a lot of this episode studying this thing, trying to figure out how it works to contact the stars, because he knows that the ship comes from up there, comes from the stars, it comes from outer space. His whole planet knows that outer space is a thing. They know that they're being taken to outer space or something. They don't know where they're going, and they're perfectly happy to like just go with these people. It kind of detracts from one actually interesting thing that was kind of a reoccurring thing about their species, right? They have these threat ganglia that pop out of the back of their necks, these little wormy things, when they're in danger, when they're about to die. You don't evolve that sort of thing by just willingly going into your death like a cow. I mean, here I'm under the impression that you evolved for, millions of years on this planet, being prey to, like, I don't know, giant tigers or bears or something, or whatever the crap, sharks, who knows? I mean, they're Kelpians, they could be sharks for all I know, giant space sharks. And they would know that, oh, there's something near me, I have this sense, it's gonna pop out and I need to run. And they can run really fast. Why can they run really fast if they're just going to their death for no crapping reason? So that's how that ruins, how his physiological part of the character. It also ruins him as a character for me, because he's deciding to get this piece of technology working. It is kind of the equivalent of me handing my cat my cell phone and him figuring out how to make it into an electric guitar. Would not be a thing he could do. Just flat out, he couldn't do it, or even me, hand me a cell phone and try and make it electric guitar. I couldn't do it. And I have thumbs, right? So it is kind of so beyond his technology level. He learns how to read their language. He learns how to communicate with the humans, apparently, because he's signaling to Starfleet, basically. Lieutenant Giorgio, she's a lieutenant now. And one night, the Lieutenant Giorgio takes a little ship down, despite, the whole Prime Directive thing of these primitive aliens shouldn't even know we're out here. We shouldn't even give them the time of day. No, not only does she land the ship, takes him with her, but they fly off so everybody can see it. That part I picked on in my review. What I didn't quite process was how it ruins Saru as a character and why the Prime Directive is important. Now, the Prime Directive says we don't go and interfere with all these pre-warp civilizations. They're not advanced enough to know and to interact with the galaxy, with life in beyond the stars, right? They're primitives. So why this is why we have the Prime Directive, so that they don't interfere. Her taking, by Philippa Giorgio taking Saru, not only does it ruin her character for being even more of an idiot than she was, just look at how she brought Michael Burnham with her onto a Klingon ship after Michael Burnham assaulted her. You're going to have these two 98-pound women fighting a ship full of Klingons, which is so stupid. Captain Giorgio's an idiot. I'm sorry, she's stupid. Dumbest captain I've ever seen. So she brings Saru with her because he can figure out how technology works, despite the fact that Starfleet tells you don't interfere with these pre-warp civilizations, because how do you know? I mean, his father was the priest of this little cult of people who sacrificed themselves. How do you know that Saru wouldn't have secretly been talking to all of his family and his species, his city, his little settlement of Kelpians, and convincing them, hey, we don't want to sacrifice ourselves. We want to know what's up there. If he's that curious and that much of an innovator, why didn't he do that? Why didn't he take over? I mean, he might have been next in line. I think that's what the episode said. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't it say that he was like the next person in line? So you're ruining Saru's character even more by having by having him leave like a dick. He's just leaving everybody on his planet to die because none of them are smart enough to know that they don't have to. What the crap? You just ruined his character and made Giorgio's even worse. Her character was shit anyway. And I'm sorry if you guys do like Discovery, and if this is ruining Discovery for you even more, then I don't know what to say. I mean, and if you're like me and you're kind of hate watching it to pick it apart for review purposes or because it's not Star Trek, here's more evidence. You know, they take Saru and he could have made a difference on his planet, possibly. This is why we have the Prime Directive. We don't know. We just interfered with the natural order of their... We could have wiped out their entire civilization for all we know. I mean, they might have evolved to where they needed Saru to be curious and to be kind of this mutation of an intellect where he can take apart the alien technology. He could have done so much to help his planet. Now, because he's in Starfleet, he can never go home again. We're never going to see the Kelpians. That's not Star Trek. That's so bullshit. So yeah, don't watch this episode if you had any sort of, you know, any sort of soft spot for Saru, because this is going to ruin him for you. All right, so on to the next one. The last short trek. This is the one that's most fresh in my memory. It is the Harry Mudd episode. And I gotta say this. For Star Trek, it's a terrible episode. You know, Harry Mudd has the android technology before he's supposed to. And he has... He has been turned into this over-the-top villain that should, by all means, have been, you know, executed for treason by trying to sell the Discovery to the Klingons, by attempted murder. And they do address some of that. I'll give them credit for that. They do address some of that. Now, why is the crew of the Discovery being held liable for letting him go, though? You don't let him go like that. That is bullshit. If he's going to be wanted for, 20 counts of attempted murder and attempted treason or treason, trying to sell the ship to the Klingons, whatever he was, why would you let him go? So that's the whole premise of this, is that he's out there, he's got a bounty on his head, he's wanted. Spoiler, he's selling these android copies of himself for profit-ish, I guess. I mean, how cheap can an exact android replica of yourself be? I don't know, but he's selling them off to everybody. And the one place who ends up buying the Harry Mudd, one of the Harry Mudds, one of the androids, is as one of the ships. And they've got just a whole... I guess they don't buy him. They just kind of take him. They don't actually give him money. But they've got like a whole slew of them. So surely it would be pretty quick before people realized, oh, it's an android. It's not really Harry Mudd. So this... And like I said in my review of this episode, it is a decent enough, mediocre sort of Stargate episode. Is it Star Trek? Hell no! It has nothing to do with Star Trek. It's Star Trek in name only. This reminds me of every time we get our bad guys captured by the Wraith on Atlantis or something, which is fine. Or every time our heroes get captured by the Wraith. Or even the bad guys. Sometimes you'll have like one of the bad guys in there with you, like a Janai will get captured by the Wraith or something. That's kind of what this reminded me of a little bit. It reminded me of anything but Star Trek. Again, this is not Star Trek, and it was probably one of the better ones because it had the least to do with Discovery. Is he Harry Mudd? No. Is he an interesting character now? Yeah, he's probably one of the better characters. He's not Harry Mudd, though, and so this is what gets me. They can't even get their own characters right. They can't get their ship right. They can't, like, these short treks can't even Star Trek. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Mecha Random 42. Get this on my screen. I'm tired of looking at that. Did you guys watch the short treks? Are you hate watching them like me? Are you watching them for review? Are you a fan of Discovery? And is this off-putting to you, the fact that they go out of their way to ruin their own characters? Because they're so grossly incompetent. They have such little understanding of what is going on. And how Star Trek is. You know, it's just like this. These short treks are written by a generation of people who never watched television in their lives. I watched television nonstop for decades when I was younger, and up until a point where I just switched over to YouTube. The fact that we have smartphones and since 2007, the fact that you have this whole generation of writers, and I'm assuming they're all probably pretty young, or a lot of them are, it is like that writers don't know how to write television because they don't watch television. They've never seen it. It's kind of scary that we're in this day and age. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Mecha Raecaps 42. I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. And God, I'm looking forward to going live after the Orville when that airs with you guys. I'm not looking forward to reviewing Discovery, but I will begrudgingly do it for you so you guys don't have to watch it. And I'll see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!